I've been speaking with David Keyes, Benjamin Netanyahu's spokesperson. I began by asking him if Israel was planning more attacks on Iranian positions in Syria.
Well, it depends what Iran does going forward. It's now tried to move its forces about 1,000 miles west, right to Israel's border. In the early hours of this morning, it shot dozens of missiles into Israel. We responded in kind. We hope the situation doesn't escalate. But Iran, for some time now, has been undertaking outrageous and aggressive provocations against Israel, lobbing missiles into Israel, supporting terrorist organizations that call for our annihilation, and of course speaking very openly about the fact that they seek nothing less than the destruction of Israel. We will not let that happen, which is precisely why we responded.
This missile attack, you say, that has occurred on Israel, where were the targets and what damage has been sustained?
Well, they lobbed 20 missiles towards Israel. 4 of them were shot down by our defensive mechanisms, and the rest of them landed actually inside of Syrian territory.
But the response that you've meted out appears to be somewhat larger than the 4 missiles that you shot down and the other ones which landed in Syria anyway.
Well, Iran's aims are a lot bigger than 4 missiles as well. They've sent an awful lot of forces right to our border. They've tried to send advanced weaponry through Syria right to Israel's border, and they consistently call for our annihilation.
I hardly need to tell you that things are very, very delicate in the region, particularly in the aftermath of President Trump's decision to close down the nuclear deal. Was it wise to do this in such a tender moment?
It was exceedingly wise to stop this nuclear deal because it put Iran on a direct path to an arsenal of nuclear weapons. Had Iran kept this deal and nothing had changed about it, in just a few years it would have had enough enriched uranium for 100 nuclear bombs or more. Iran's foreign minister Javad Zarif just a few days ago was on television saying we never wanted to build a bomb. Well, over 100,000 secret files from Iran's atomic archive prove the precise opposite.
Well, why do you then think that the European nations involved in this, and indeed China and Russia, are prepared to continue to respect the treaty with Iran, and you are still not prepared to declare your own arsenal?
Well, the reason that we opposed the nuclear deal with Iran, as I said previously, was very simple. It was because it put Iran on a path to an arsenal of nuclear weapons. That is unacceptable for Israel, that's unacceptable for the region, and it's unacceptable for the world, frankly, given Iran's massive support of terrorism around the world.
Why don't we end on a quick yes or no? Does Israel have a nuclear arsenal?
Israel won't be the first to introduce these weapons into the Middle East, but I think that attention needs to be put very squarely on this terrorist supporting the world's worst state sponsor of terror, a theocracy which brutalizes its own people, from acquiring weapons that they openly say will be used to annihilate the state of Israel. That cannot happen. It should not happen. We won't let that happen.
I can't work out if that's a yes or no.
Well, I'll leave it to your viewers to understand that.
David Keyes, thank you very much indeed for talking with us.